If you're a flooring company paying Angi for leads right now, I need you to understand something. Every single lead they send you, they sent that same lead to 4 or 5 other flooring companies at the same time. And every single one of you got charged for it, whether you got the job or not. Angi just made several $100s off of one homeowner. And at best, one of you is walking away with the work. The rest of you paid for nothing. Now I know what you might be thinking. Everybody bashes Angi, but nobody actually tells you what to do instead. You turn it off and then what? The phone just stops ringing? That's exactly what we're gonna fix in this video. I'm gonna show you how Angi's business model is specifically designed to benefit them and not your flooring company. Why the platform's in serious trouble right now, and most importantly, what you should be doing with that money instead, so the leads you're paying for are exclusively yours, and every dollar you spend actually builds your business instead of disappearing the second you stop writing checks. Let's get into it. Most flooring companies on Angi have no idea how the platform actually makes its money. And once you understand the business model, you'll never look at your monthly bill the same way again. I want you to picture this. Imagine you order a pizza, one pizza from one restaurant, but instead of one delivery driver showing up at your door, 5 delivery drivers show up, all at the same time, each one from a different restaurant, each one holding a pizza you didn't order from them. And every single one of those drivers paid for the gas to get to your house, whether you buy their pizza or not. You're only gonna buy one pizza, but all 5 of them paid to show up. That is exactly how Angi works for your flooring business. A homeowner goes on Angi and says, I need new floors. Angi takes that one request and sends it to 4 or 5 different flooring companies at the same time. And every single one of those companies gets charged for that lead, whether they get the job or not. And here's the part that should make your blood boil. Angi already got paid the second that lead went out. Their entire incentive is to send each lead to as many contractors as possible, because more contractors per lead means more money for Angi, not more money for you. And the way they built this machine is actually pretty clever. Years ago, Angi spent millions building up their online presence. So now when a homeowner types flooring contractor near me into Google, Angi's website shows up near the top. They did all that heavy lifting years ago, which means they're generating those leads essentially for free at this point. And then they turn around and sell those leads to you at a premium. So let me make sure this is crystal clear. Angi generates leads for almost nothing, charges every one of you for the same homeowner, and gets paid whether you win the job or not. You are on the wrong side of that transaction every single time. But here's what makes this even worse if you're specifically a flooring company, because Angi's shared lead model doesn't hurt every trade equally, and flooring is one of the worst possible services to sell this way. Think about it. Flooring is not an emergency service. Nobody's calling at midnight because their LVP is leaking. This is a high-ticket, high-consideration purchase. Homeowners are taking their time. They're comparing options, they're thinking about it, and they want to build trust with whoever they hire, because they're about to spend anywhere from a few $1,000s to well over $20,000 depending on the job. So when you're one of 5 names on a screen with no way to differentiate yourself, what happens? The homeowner defaults to whoever's cheapest or whoever responds fastest. There's no relationship, there's no trust, and there's no brand. You become a commodity. And flooring companies should never be selling themselves as a commodity. On top of that, the lead quality is often terrible. You get leads outside your service area, you get people who are just shopping for the absolute cheapest price, you get contacts who never answer the phone or respond to a message, and you still get charged for every single one. Flooring is a trust-based sale, and Angi strips away every possible opportunity to build that trust before the homeowner even picks up the phone. You end up in a price war on every single lead, and flooring companies should never be competing on price. And if you're thinking, well, I'll just try it for a few months and see, that's exactly what they're counting on. Because Angi doesn't just sell you bad leads. They've built an entire system to make sure you keep paying for them even when you want to stop. They lock you into annual contracts. They have auto renewal clauses buried in the fine print. If you want to get out early, there are termination fees. And here's a fun one. They can raise your rates up to 10% each year without your approval. But it gets even better. If you don't hit their minimum lead purchase requirements each month, meaning if there just aren't enough homeowners requesting flooring in your area, they charge you dead lead fees for every lead you fall short on. So even when the leads dry up, you're still paying. And you want to know how they're getting new contractors to sign up to replace the old ones who leave? They're cold calling brand new LLC filings. Every time someone files a new business in any state, Angi's sales team is hammering their phone. They're targeting brand new business owners who don't know any better yet. And that should tell you everything you need to know, because the experienced companies, they already left. Think about that for a second. The veterans are gone. The people who've been in this industry long enough to know better, they're not on Angi anymore. And the way Angi replaces them is by targeting people who just filed their LLC last week. If that doesn't tell you everything you need to know, I don't know what will. Now, if everything I've just said was only about how the model works, maybe you could argue it's still worth a shot. But let me show you what's happening to Angi as a company right now, because this paints a much bigger picture. The reason this matters is because it's not just that the model's bad for you. The entire platform is shrinking, which means you're paying the same money for less and less value every single quarter. Angi's revenue has been declining for 3 consecutive years. They're sitting at roughly half of their all-time peak revenue right now. Their stock just hit an all-time low. In January of this year, they laid off 350 employees. That's over 12% of their entire workforce. And here's the number that should matter to you the most. Service requests on the platform, meaning the number of homeowners actually using Angi to find a contractor, have been dropping significantly year over year. So you're paying the same or more money for a shrinking pool of leads. That math gets worse every single quarter. They're also not BBB accredited. The Better Business Bureau is currently evaluating what they call a pattern of complaints against Angi. They have thousands of complaints filed in just the last few years. And their parent company, IAC, literally spun them off. They don't even want to hold on to them anymore. So the company is shrinking, the homeowners are leaving, the good contractors already left, and even Angi's own parent company didn't want them anymore. You're paying the same or more money to fight over a shrinking pool of leads on a platform that is circling the drain. So now you understand exactly how Angi makes money off your flooring company and why that math will never work in your favor. But knowing what's wrong isn't enough. You need to know where your customers actually are and what to do with that Angi budget instead. And that's where this gets good. Because here's something I think a lot of flooring company owners don't realize. The way homeowners actually find their flooring contractor, it's not on Angi. The vast majority of homeowners find their contractor through word of mouth and referrals. After that, it's Google search and Google Maps. Almost every homeowner is reading online reviews before they hire anyone. And here's what matters most. Homeowners who find you on Google Maps with strong reviews are calling you that same day. Not next week, not after they think about it, that day. The real action is happening on Google and through referrals and reputation, not on a declining platform where the quality of contractors keeps getting worse because all the good ones already left. And that's the death spiral Angi is in. Fewer good contractors means worse experiences for homeowners, which means fewer homeowners use the platform, which means even less value for the contractor still paying. It just keeps getting worse. Your customers are on Google, they're reading reviews, and they're calling the company they trust that day. That's where the game is being won right now, and Angi can't help you with any of it. So now the question becomes, what happens if you take that exact same Angi budget and put it somewhere you actually control? Because when you run the actual numbers side by side, the difference isn't even close. Let's say you're spending a few $100 a month on Angi. You're getting some leads, but those leads are going to 4 or 5 other flooring companies at the same time. So your close rate on those leads is going to be way lower than it should be because you're in a bidding war on every single one. Now take that same budget and put it into Facebook ads or Google ads. The leads you get from those platforms are exclusively yours. Nobody else got that homeowner's information. You're the only flooring company that person is talking to from that ad. So your close rate goes way up because there's no competition on that individual lead, even if the cost per lead were exactly the same, which by the way, Facebook leads are often cheaper. Your cost per actual acquired job is going to be dramatically lower because you're not splitting every single lead with 4 other companies. Same budget, same market, but instead of fighting 4 other companies for every lead, you're the only flooring company that homeowner is talking to. Your close rate goes up, your cost per job goes down, and you actually have a shot at building a relationship before the first phone call even happens. But here's the part that nobody talks about, and honestly, this is the real reason I tell every flooring company to leave Angi. Because even if the cost per lead were identical and the close rates were magically the same, it would still be worth doing your own marketing, and here's why. Every single ad you run on Facebook or Instagram is being seen by thousands of people in your local community. Most of them aren't clicking today. They're not filling out a form right now, but they're seeing your company name. They're seeing your face, they're seeing your trucks, and they're seeing your finished work. And that compounds over time. That builds brand recognition, trust, and a reputation in your local market. And then what happens? 6 months from now, that person who saw your ad 3 times finally needs new floors. And then when they go to Google and search for a flooring contractor, they recognize your name. They already feel like they know you. They click on your listing, they see your reviews, and they call you. That's the snowball effect of doing your own marketing. It builds on itself. Every dollar you spend is doing double duty, generating leads today and building brand for tomorrow. Angi does none of that, zero. The way I think about it is like building a bonfire. Your organic presence, your Google business profile, your reviews, your website, your referral network, those are the logs. They burn slow and they burn long. They take a little while to get going, but once they're lit, they're hard to put out. Your paid advertising, Facebook ads, Google ads, that's the gasoline. You pour it on and you get immediate results. Leads start coming in fast. But the magic is when those two work together. The logs keep burning and the gas makes it roar. Angi is like renting someone else's fire. You're standing next to it and it feels warm, but the moment you stop paying rent, you're standing in the cold with nothing. You didn't build anything, you didn't create anything, you just rented access to someone else's fire while they made all the money. With your own marketing, every dollar you spend is an investment that builds on itself. With Angi, every dollar disappears the second you stop writing checks. You built nothing and you created nothing. You just rented access to someone else's audience while they made all the money. Now look, I want to be fair here. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that Angi has never produced a single job for anyone ever. If you're brand new and you're absolutely desperate for any call at all, could it get you a lead or two? Maybe, but it's a band-aid. It's not a strategy. And if you're a flooring company doing over $500,000 a year, you should not be relying on Angi in any capacity. You have the revenue and the margin to invest in real marketing that you actually own and control. Angi might keep you warm for a week. It will never build the fire that keeps your business growing for years. So now you know exactly why Angi is not worth it for your flooring company and why every other option is a better use of your money. But I don't want you to just turn off Angi and sit there with nothing to replace it. That's why I made a video that breaks down exactly how to start generating customers for your flooring business, what to run first, what to skip, and how to fill your schedule without relying on platforms that don't care whether you win the job. That video is right here. Go watch it next.